You asked for it, so here it is, egg foo young. Fluffy egg omelet filled with char siu and shrimp and onions, smothered in a delicious gravy. Oh my goodness, can't wait. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. You know, egg foo young is not super popular here in Vancouver, but I remember living down in the States, and also in the 80s it was quite popular in the more westernized Chinese restaurants. And it's an egg omelet that is, well, Cantonese style. Essentially, you can put whatever you want in it. You could be a total veggie omelet or one with leftovers, or typically it is made with some pork and shrimp. So today I have some leftover char siu that I made the other day, and I have some shrimp that I've defrosted. So I'm just gonna chop up all of my ingredients first and get my sauce ready, because what I find with Chinese cooking is that you have to have all your ingredients ready all at once. Otherwise, the cooking process just goes so quickly, you have no time in the middle of anything to get anything else ready. So here we go. I'm gonna start by chopping up my onions because I don't want my board to be greasy from the char siu or contaminated from the shrimp. So I'm going to cut up my green onions first. I've got 2 stalks. I'm just going to set that aside. I'm also using this board because it's easy to clean after I chop up the oily pork, which is why I'm using it here. But I do prefer my wooden board over this one, because you all know I can't be bothered with washing more than one chopping board. I'm just gonna set the chopped green onions aside. Then I just have a little bit of white onion that I'm just gonna cut into strips, thinly sliced. Okay, I'm just using this white onion for a little bit of crunch, but you can use bean sprouts or cabbage or I don't know, some other crunchy vegetable, whatever you like, whatever you have in your fridge. Okay, we have some leftover char siu that I made. So I have about maybe 4 ounces here. We're just gonna cut this up into smaller bits. Okay, this char siu I make on a regular basis, and what I like to do with the char siu actually is to marinate it and leave them in the freezer and pull out whenever I need it, already marinated, ready to go, and it just makes for a really simple meal. And if you don't have leftover char siu, you can always use a little bit of ground pork. You just have to cook it first before you add the egg to it. And I'll show you when to add that as we're doing the cooking part. You know, you can always use bacon too if you didn't have any ground pork at home.
Yeah, I got an idea.
Oh yeah.
Spam.
Yep, of course you do. Great idea, dude.
Hey, what's wrong with spam anyways?
Just not my cup of tea.
Spam hater.
I have 4 shrimp here that I've defrosted, rinsed, dried off, taken the shell off, and I'm just gonna chop this up. It's about 2 ounces maybe, and just cut them into little pieces about the same size as your pork. And you know what? And if you didn't want to use pork and you just wanted to use shrimp, you can do that too. No rules here. All right, now I'm going to go wash my knife and my board. So we've been getting our eggs from a local farm, Sandy Valley Farms, and I've been really enjoying these jumbo eggs. So I'm using 3 jumbo eggs, which is about the size. Look at that. Look at that yolk, it's massive. But you can just use 6 large eggs or 6 medium eggs. Oh, look, there's a double yolk. Check it. So fun.
That's really cool.
Oh, another double yolk. Loving these jumbo eggs. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper, and 1 teaspoon of oil. And the secret ingredient is cornstarch. So I'm gonna make a cornstarch slurry here. I have a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of water. And it has to be cool water or room temperature water. Otherwise your cornstarch will not dissolve. Now, not all of this is going in. So we're gonna save about a third of it for our gravy. I'm gonna put about 2/3 in here. What the cornstarch does is it makes the egg creamy and keeps it moist, because we're gonna be frying the bottom part of the omelet so that it's a little bit crispy. And when that happens, we might end up overcooking the egg, in which case it'll dry out the egg, and we don't want to do that. So we're adding the cornstarch slurry along with the oil will help to keep your eggs creamy. Okay, so you want the eggs to be well beaten so that there's no more like white pieces coming up, like the clear part of the egg. You want it all to be broken up. There, that should do it.
You mean the egg white?
What did I say? The white part of the egg.
You know, the clear part.
Yes, the clear part. The white, the egg whites. Okay, we're also going to get our gravy ready to go. So I have half a cup of chicken broth, and I'm adding a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce. Just a teaspoon of soy sauce. And that is it. Okay, just mix that up. And then our gravy will be ready to go. I'm using my cast iron frying pan today instead of a wok because I'm gonna make one big omelet. By using the wok, because it's a round bottom, it's not gonna cook the eggs evenly. And if you want, you could use a wok, but you should make them like in individual portions. So you make like maybe 4 to 6 little omelets, but I'm gonna make one big omelet and chop it up from there.
Because
I can't be bothered. Okay, once your pan is heated up, add about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we're gonna get our onion going first. Obviously my pan is not hot enough. Don't do that, wait till it's hot. All right, it just took a couple seconds. You know, I get kind of impatient sometimes. I just want to get things started. Now we want this much oil because when we add the eggs, we want it to crisp up at the bottom. And this onion is going to flavor that oil as well. After cooking your onions for about a minute or 2, you can add the char siu. And at this point, if you wanted to, cook your ground pork or your bacon, this would be the time to add them. And then make sure it's cooked through before moving on to the next step. Okay, I'm just pushing the pork to the side, and I'm gonna add my shrimp. And we wanna cook this through. Whoa, did you see that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, it doesn't take long for the shrimp to cook through. Okay, mix it all back up. And now we're gonna add our egg.
Whoa, are you okay?
It just freaked me out.
Well, we did lose
A piece of pork, putting it back in.
leave no pork behind.
Okay, we're just gonna let that cook. I want it to kind of crisp on the side. And I do have it on like medium-high heat. I'm just gonna move it around a little bit so that the egg cooks through. All right, so we still want this egg to be cooked through a little bit more. You know, traditionally, I think a lot of restaurants will deep fry the egg foo young, which is why it comes up really crispy and puffy on the inside. But because we don't deep fry at home, I can smell the bottom crisping up right now. Just going to turn it over. Ready? You got that crispy part at the bottom. Just going to turn this heat down a little bit. I'm going to cut it into pieces so that it's easier to flip. The heat is probably on just a little bit too high. Okay, turning the heat off. Okay, moving this onto a plate. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. All right, we're gonna work on our gravy now. And I'm gonna use the same pan. So we're turning it back on. And I'm gonna have it on medium-low. Add our gravy. Okay, at this point I'm actually gonna turn it off because my pan is so hot. Adding my slurry. Okay, I'm gonna stir that in to thicken the gravy. Oh, look at how yummy that gravy looks already. Turn on just on low. Just bring it up to a simmer. There we go. And make sure that it's heated through properly. That's it. It's your gravy. Okay, adding just a touch of sesame oil, like half a teaspoon. Stir that in. Okay, I'm going to spoon this gravy right over the eggs. All right. Okay, and don't forget about the onions that you chopped. All right, there you have it. Egg foo young. Are you all ready for?
Oh yeah. Egg foo young. Oh yeah. I haven't actually had it in a long time, like a long time. What's more important is how it tastes.
Check out those chopstick skills, yo.
Oh no, there could be a lot better, but they're okay. All right, make sure we got some gravy in there too. Something so simple, but something so amazing because it's nicely cooked. It's not overcooked on the inside. It's got the bit of crispiness on the outside with all the goodness waiting to go into your mouth. Party time. Oh yeah, the onion in there. Egg is nicely soft inside. All the different flavors coming together. And then gravy just tying it in. Serve it up with some rice or the other dishes that you might have with your meal. Maybe a leafy veg to keep it healthy. You got yourself a fantastic dinner. Yum. The crispy edge on the outside and then with a soft center. So good. Who's that? Yes, Kaya. Do you agree?
All right, thanks, dude.
Hey, buddy. Cat on set.
Let me know what your favorite ingredients are for egg foo young in the comments below. Check out my char siu recipe, and I will see you over there.